dad, my grandpa, and me, and we went to watch my cousin play baseball. Baseball games are supposed to be filled with cheer and laughter. All I heard was complaining about how uncomfortable the lawn chair was they were sitting in. My grandpa's 6'5", my dad's 6'2", so they're pretty tall guys. And they just kept complaining about their back pain and their knees with all the flimsy lawn chairs that they were sitting in. And that's why we're here today, to make that change. I'm Trey Thompson.
I'm Bryce Hamilton.
And I'm Luke Butler, and we are
The Room. So like I said, I'm Trey Thompson. I play basketball here at Reagan High School, and I enjoy hanging out with friends and family. And I'm the innovation architect and customer champion for our team.
I'm Bryce Hamilton. I play football at Reagan High School and enjoy hunting. I'm the visionary for our group, so basically I just make sure that we're on task and I'm open to new ideas for our group.
And I'm Luke Butler. I play baseball and football at Reagan High School, and I am our rainmaker. I basically deal with all the financials of our product.
And we're a group of athletes that know what hard work is and are willing to work hard for our company. And this is our demo video. Tired of back pain and aches from flimsy and cheap lawn chairs like this one? But that can all be fixed with our chair, the Lawn Bro, by Throne.
The Lawn Bro, coming with a lot of padding to help fix those back pains. Fully customizable. You can get rid of the headrest, the footrest. It even comes with a cup holder and an ice ball. Not to mention a purse holder for all your bags, and you even put your own logo on there.
Our main selling points, the adjustable legs. As you twist, it goes up and down and it adjusts to your height. So after sitting in the lawn chair, as you can see, it promotes great posture, resulting in no back pain or aches, and gives you a comfortable sitting experience.
Thank you so much for taking time in your day to learn more about our lawn chair.
There we go. Okay. Problem solving. So the problems that we're solving in making an adjustable lawn chair that turns into a bleacher seat is number one, comfort problems. Our adjustable legs can adjust up and down depending on the height of the buyer and get that comfort that they need. Number two, we take away the hassle of buying a lawn chair and a bleacher seat. Ours comes with 2-in-1, and instead of buying two for a normal price, you can buy one for our price. Number three, they're cheap and they break easy. Ours, we're using great material and just to ensure that our chair won't break and last you a long time. So our solution, how we came up with the solution, we went around the academy and the YMCA and talked to a lot of people about how their chairs are and if they're flimsy, not flimsy. And a lot of people did have problems with it that hurt their back and their knees. So we made the adjustable factor. We made a lot of padding, great material to ensure that they don't have any problems with our chair. And we also gave that factor of turning into a bleacher seat as well. So again, that 2-in-1 kind of factor as well. And we asked them, how are you solving it? And they said they're rolling up towels to put behind their back to make that extra support, and they're also putting pillows behind their back. Some also said they're adding little stools to put their legs on, if their legs are long, if they're short, to make that more comfortable for them as well. So 2 ways we're also just acquiring customers and communicating with them through our social media and website. And we're doing that by just talking to people, and after we meet with them, giving them our information, so they kind of realize that they can give us a text if they think anything that will be better for our company or things we can do better.
So who's affected by these problems? Parents, middle-aged parents that have kids involved in sports, they're affected by this problem, as well as elderly people. The reason these people are affected is that elderly people commonly have knee and back pain while sitting in chairs, and our chair will fix that. Middle-aged parents, however, need a compatible chair from going to the bleachers of the stands to the grass of a field. So that has to do with the stadium seat of our chair. And the elderly people can just use it to sit on their patio and be relaxed during the day. Our market size. To first start off, we're going to start in Texas only, with a household income of $70,000. Also in these households, there are going to be middle-aged parents with children and or elderly people with a mean age of 60 plus. How often will they buy it? Hopefully just once, but when we get to testing our product, we will realize how long it will really take for this chair to wear out. As you can tell, these are two different customer segments. The one on the left being like the middle-aged parents with kids, and the one on the right being the elderly. On the left, you can see there's different demographics than that of the right, and the elderly people are often retired, and they're in their like 70s and 60s with grandkids, and they need something to sell on their patio, while as the middle-aged one, they work at high-paying jobs and go to sporting events and sporting places.
Our competitors are Yeti, Coleman, and Vinca Chairs. Yeti, they have very high quality products, but they come with a hefty price of $300 for their nicest chair, which they only have one chair to offer. For being a business that is known for their coolers, you would expect that they would offer a cooler, but they don't. This is something that we are gonna offer on our chair that the other two companies do not. Coleman chairs are very flimsy and they do not last very long. They're good for a few trips to the ballpark, but nothing past that. Our chair is gonna last much longer than that, and that is why we're better than Coleman chairs. The Vinca chair, they're kind of like the same idea as our chair, but they're very heavy and they do not transport very well. Our chair, we're going to try to make it much lighter than this chair, so we're going to be better than the Vinca chair in that way. Also, they have the height ability to adjust, but I think we're going to be able to top their adjustability for their chair.
So our marketing strategy, like I said before, we're getting people with our Instagram and our website, and we're also been working on getting brand ambassadors. So students at Reagan High School will sit in our chair and post about it, so other people can realize if they're like this chair, maybe I will too, and kind of just spread by word of mouth. Also, like Instagram, and that's just how we're acquiring as many customers as possible.
Our cost of goods sold is going to be $15 per unit. This cost is how much it will cost to develop one single chair. We have researched it, and it will cost $26 for aluminum, $24 for acrylic fabric, and $30 for screws, plus $20 for the head and leg rest. But this will all be bought in bulk. So a mean for all this bought, it will be $15 for one chair. And our startup goods and administration costs will be around $240 a month. To begin with, it will only be $100 a month for marketing. But as we get bigger, we'll need $140 a month for a little storage space. So it will be $240 in total. And this is our net profit diagram. In a 3-year total, we will make $80,000. I use these 2%, 4.8 going into year 2 and 5.6 going into year 3. And I got these percent growth from Academy, their website. It says their outdoor sports area has grown 4.8% in 1 year and 5.6% the next.
So our financial model, we chose to do like a traditional product, not that's all we're selling, no subscription, that was just a product. And our price, after interviewing a lot of people, we realized $100 would be a great price for it. Not too expensive for the average buyer, but not too cheap for like people that like wealth and like nice stuff. So we just had a happy medium of $100. Other expenses like the storage unit is what we need once we get bigger and need to put our chairs in a place to store. And our goal is for 1 month, just when we're getting started, we want to sell 10 chairs. And then once people start seeing people at like YMCA, McAllister Park in their chairs, they'll be like, where'd you get that? And if they like it, they might test it. And then 6 months comes, we want to sell 100 and just keep skyrocketing as people see more and more chairs. So our MVP, so our prototype, that's what we chose to do. And then, so this is our prototype right now. And with the money we had, we didn't get buy aluminum, and that's kind of expensive. So our goal is to make the aluminum adjustable chairs where you press and you go up and down, kind of that adjustable factor. But we were kind of, with not a lot of money, we weren't able to do that. So we made PVC pipes kind of twist and adjust up and down with that. We used bubble wrap, also PVC pipe to make the padding and to add a headrest and leg rest, and then that cooler on the side. So our future prototype, once we do get more funding, will look a little like this. So we talked about how our chair is going to turn into a bleacher seat, and it'll do that by putting all the legs up, and they'll fold under, so you still have the chair, but instead of legs, you can just put it on a bleacher, and that'll have to be how our chair turned from a lawn chair to a bleacher seat. And our definition of success is getting our product out to as many people as we can and helping their back pain and their knee aches and their comfort. So today, Sharks, We're asking for $1,000 to help create and develop our product and sell it and get it out to the world. Our cost, like we said, storage unit, COGS, our SG&A, and you're probably wondering who's going to help the Lawn Bros. We've got a handyman named Archie who's willing to work for free, which is awesome because we won't have to pay him, and he's going to help develop our product and also use his friends to help develop it. And with this money, we will be able to help get our product out to the world and help everyone that needs help. Connect with us. Like I said, our website, Instagram, and these are all 3 of our pictures.
Thank you, Sharks, for taking your time to meet with us and consider our product.
Grown.
Cool. Great. That was great. Really well put together, good presentation. I have a couple of questions. I'll ask one, and then so I don't take the whole time, I'll save the second one. But so, how much time do you think it'll take to get from your prototype to kind of the final product?
I think probably at least like maybe 2 weeks. We just have to kind of weld and get we already have the blueprint ready and the idea of just how we're going to do it, and we just have to weld the kind of chair frame and just make the legs be able to just pull up and fold under, and that's really all we need because we're just going to order the fabric and all the padding and materials, and just that'll kind of be constructed all together.
So you know what it'll be made out of, and
Acrylic fabric, aluminum, and then we'll get all the nails and stuff we need, and then we'll probably use some sort of like maybe memory foam or some padding like that.
got it. And your buddy's gonna make these for free? Is that?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
It's a nice friend.
It is. Yeah. He's
Can I
been
get Archie's number?
Yeah.
he's been working for my family for a long time, so.
Okay. Do you think that's scalable? I mean, do you think you'll be able to sell or make 10 of these, 20 of these a month?
Well, this is just for our prototype to start off with, because as you can tell, we only get like a set amount of money, and we can't really order all these screws, memory foam, and all that with just like a little bit of money they give us. So this is just our base prototype, and that cost is just for our first prototype, just so we have like an actual set product before we start manufacturing them.
And then how will you manufacture it?
So like we'll start off in his little workshop, and then he knows people that engineer, and so he also engineers, but he has other friends that will help with that. So.
Got it. Okay. I have a couple others, but go ahead.
So you'll eventually, when you scale, you'll either have Archie's buddies make them to a point, and then you'll eventually, if it grows, you'll find a manufacturing
Exactly.
option.
Yes, sir.
And you feel comfortable that you can get this made for $15 a chair with scale?
I think so. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
First of all, really good presentation. Totally understood the product, even though I've already seen it twice, that helps, but I totally understood the product. You guys, appearance-wise, looked great, really sharp, and really put together, well rehearsed. So Instagram, so social media marketing is your plan. We just talked to your teacher about every group seems to want to target like San Antonio or Texas, which makes some sense when your curriculum. If you're marketing to, through social media, you're going to reach a lot further than Texas. So my advice that I would give you is, you can limit you can want to stay in Texas, but if you're using social media, that could go a lot of places. Just kind of be prepared for that
Yes, sir.
possibility. Can you flip back to your kind of P&L forecast for me? Your financials? So I like your growth year one, 10, 15, 20, you're kind of adding like 5 units a month roughly, and getting yourself to 450 year one. And then year 2, year 3, you're kind of like, all right, we did pretty good, let's add a couple, right? So I would love to see you, if you took this to the real world, I would like to see year 2, grow at 100%, 200% rate. Same thing with year 3, so 450, 1,000, 3,000 type of thing. I think if you have a good product and it's working well, it's unique to the market, you're getting that good feedback, word of mouth feedback from people. I think if you're only selling the same amount every year, it's probably half the people like it and half people don't. You probably haven't nailed it. So I think I would redo that and put some significant growth year 2 and 3, because you can reinvest some of that profit into marketing dollars, right? And and blow it up. What was your net profit percentage? 48, 60, 60, 56? Yeah, that's really good. Good numbers. You could definitely wholesale the heck out of this product. If you get it made for 15 bucks, 20 bucks,
Sure.
wholesale it for 50 and let Academy sell it for 100. I think you could do, it would change those numbers, right?
Sure.
Cut your revenues in half, but you could get a lot of volume that way. But no reason to take it to brick and mortar, to retail if you're selling to your customers at that profit. Just keep selling to your customers
Yes,
at that profit. So, good job. I have other questions maybe, but I want to same thing. I'll let him have a chance.
On your growth, have you figured out with Archie how many units Friends can make?
Not yet.
Because that'll be important
Yes,
to
sir.
get your next level of manufacturing figured out. Because I think one of the problems with that is, to build off his point, if it's popular, but you're still only making 450, 60, 70 a year, you're gonna have a lot of people frustrated because they can't get it.
Yes, sir.
And the orders will be coming in, but you can't service the orders, and it'll probably not do well. Probably die.
Yes,
So
sir.
you figure out where you're going to go and do some research on the manufacturing up front, then you just have to transition, pick whatever your trigger point is,
Yes, sir.
and move towards that. On that Vingley model,
Yes, sir.
what is it made out of?
So we researched it's like the fabric it's kind of like what Coleman uses.
It's
kinda,
mesh.
Yeah.
It's just mesh, and the fabric's just mesh.
And it's not super sturdy. We're gonna make ours kind of like how Yeti's chair is, which is it's got kind of tighter and
Uh-huh.
it's sturdier. And what Bingley does, their adjustable legs are kind of like say like you're on an uneven surface. It's kind of like that. It's not really the point of it, like comfort level. It's kind of just so you can be balanced, like while you're fishing or something. And ours kind of has that. Ours is more based on comfort, unlike theirs, and theirs doesn't have like the bleacher seat factor like us. So
But you said theirs was sturdy but heavy.
Yes.
And that's why I asked the material, what are you going to do different than yours? I assume they get out of aluminum, and why would you make it out of steel?
yeah.
Well, it also like folds like this, so it's like very big and hard to carry. While ours will just like fold up completely, and you can put it in a bag or an area, so it's easier to carry over your shoulder or something.
And we've talked about maybe even putting like kind of backpack straps on the back of
Yeah, I
it,
was going to ask.
just so you can kind of carry it easier to transport.
And also, how you said it, like you'll be frustrated if a certain amount of people can't get our chair. That's the thing about Bingley, is they were like out of stock for a period of time, and they were sold out.
See, there's a lesson there.
Yes, sir.
The very point I was trying to make. I thought this may be premature. I thought your presentation was good for many reasons. But one thing I liked about what you all had was confidence. So whether I thought this was a good idea or a bad idea, or thought it would work or not, I think the way you presented it is very inspiring. In other words, it gives me confidence in your ability to do it, because you didn't shrink from the questions or the challenges, at least not yet. Don't give up yet.
Yeah, no, 100%. I want to ask you about your $1,000 ask. So you're gonna make 400. You're gonna want to sell 450 units year one at $15 a unit, which is $6,000 something, $6,700 maybe. For that, plus you've got a monthly burn rate of 240, 280, 300, 320. So over the first 6 months, you're going to burn $2,000 or more in SG&A. Plus, for the first 6 months, you're going to need $4,000 and to build your product. Do you think 1,000 is enough? Where did you come to 1,000 that tells you that's going to be where you need to be?
Well, the thing is, we first thought of 1,000, but as we were talking about it throughout the week, we pretty much need about $10,000 to cover for the SG&A. And I don't think we edited our PowerPoint to say that, but we were thinking $10,000.
Okay. You also, we were talking to your teacher about this as well. Some of the products that your colleagues, your classmates have brought in, this one being a perfect candidate, is a great Kickstarter product. So if you just, are y'all juniors or seniors?
Juniors.
So if you decide to come back next year in the program or launch your product outside of the program, $1,000 or whatever amount of money you might get from this might help you finish your prototype and do a few things and trademarks and whatever you want to do. But it's like a perfect Kickstarter deal where you might raise $30,000, you know, pre-selling chairs that allows you to make them and go that route and not have to go raise money and give equity in your company away, you know, from that type of deal. So just something to think about. Maybe raise your ask. I mean, we can raise your ask on the notes here, but raise your ask or get to the point where you have working prototype and a little capital to maybe kickstart or something like that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know you said the pricing was kind of a, you know, Goldilocks where it wasn't too expensive, but it also wasn't, you know, so inexpensive that it came off as cheap or anything like that, which I think is great, but I'm still kind of hung up on this manufacturing thing, right? Like, I mean, at some point you'll have to pay for it, and, you know, if it takes one person, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to make,
Sure.
pay them $20 an hour, it's $40 or $60 that comes directly out of your gross profit, right? And so I think you need to do quite a bit more thinking on how you scale it up that way.
Yes,
once
sir.
RJ unionizes and asks for,
Yes,
you
sir.
know, a paycheck. But I do think it's a great product, and I think, you know, I think that can probably be reflected in the pricing as well, right? You know, you said at one point it's kind of 2 in 1. You know, why not charge them 1.5 for one,
Yes,
you know,
sir.
rather than just give away the second, you know, the bleacher seat or whatever. So I think there's probably some upside on pricing, but also some additional costs you'll have to figure out.
Yes, sir.